Now from CBS News Miami, this is a Taste of the Town special, the best of 2023. Here's Lisa Petrillo.
Welcome and happy Thanksgiving. This holiday is all about two things, family and food. So over the next half hour, we're going to share with you some of 2023's best Taste of the Towns. We're in the kitchen at FIU's Chaplin School of Hospitality and Tourism Management, where the next generations of chefs and foodies and restaurateurs are honing their skills. You might see some of them in the background over the course of this program. Okay, then let's get started, right? For our first two tastings, we showcase the melting pot of residents and restaurants that is South Florida. Chug's Diner is known for its contemporary twist on classic Cuban-American cuisine. But first, a sampling of the special dishes created by the mother and son team at Lorna's Caribbean and American Grill. Meet Lorna Westmoreland, the namesake behind Lorna's Caribbean and American Grill in Miami Gardens. First established in 2006, Lorna moved to this large contemporary space several years ago. She was born in Jamaica and raised in the Bahamas. The restaurant is all about serving up good vibes with authentic Caribbean food. Lorna is also all about her community.
The people around us, they are so good to us.
She cooks alongside her youngest son, Matari Bodhi, who she says has come a long way in the kitchen.
It's wonderful. My son, he couldn't boil water.
He couldn't boil water?
He couldn't boil water. And then he learned, I teach him and he watched what I was cooking and, he got so excited.
She told me a little secret. She told me you couldn't boil water several years ago.
I didn't know how to boil water. So now it wasn't my passion, it became my passion. Now I love it.
The two also love giving back. During the pandemic, they teamed up with Hard Rock Stadium, that's just down the street, to feed people who were in need.
We do a lot for the community. It's just something what we love to do.
Mother and son prepare our tasting dishes like this Bahamian classic fried conch. Definitely got like a sweetness in it. Crunchy because of fry, but not a heavy oily. I feel like I am somewhere in the Caribbean right now.
Yes.
This mac and cheese is simply heavenly.
A lot of people come here, we don't have mac and cheese, they don't order.
I have to tell you, that is a thing of beauty. That's a comfort food beyond. That is your mom's homemade mac and cheese, and it tastes it. And as for Lorna, who's 74 years young, says she couldn't be happier with her lot in life. And it makes you happy.
Oh yes, I don't want to stay off.
You don't want to be retired.
No, my son said, Mom, you need to retire. Oh no, I'm not ready yet. Ever since Chug's Diner first opened its doors as a pop-up cafecito and pastelito shop in 2019, it quickly became a Coconut Grove institution.
Fabian, where's the mojo?
In 2021, owner and chef Michael Beltran took over the adjacent space, expanding both its size and menu offerings.
And then I also was like, yeah, we can make a couple dishes. That turned into 24, and now we have 62 dishes on our menu.
62 dishes.
Yeah. We have a big, beautiful, kind of like an ode to a classic diner bar on the inside. We have happy hour, all those fun things. And really, we just kind of the food evolved. And I think the concept evolved too.
This concept is close to his heart.
I think what Chug's really is, it's like an ode to the kids like myself that grew up here. So it's like a melting pot of Cuban with an American diner and a Jewish deli.
Especially during Hispanic Heritage Month, Beltran wants his food to honor his Cuban heritage while elevating it. He proudly embraces patriotism in every way.
We're not going to forget who we are and where we came from, but we're also going to show that we're free to be creative and to have a mind of our own.
Mouth-watering food like this new entree, plantain-crusted snapper with arugula and green bean salad, aioli, and mojo onions.
There's such a wonderful texture and crunch of the fish. I don't even know that it's fish. I mean, I do know that it's fish, but it's just got this great texture and bite to it.
Awesome. I love that.
I love this.
And don't forget the malanga latkes, a perfect Cuban Jewish side dish.
What's not to love? It's like a comfort food.
And finally, arroz con leche blintzes with rhubarb jam.
It is literally the ultimate merging of a Jewish diner and Cuban cuisine.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Broward County has made a name for itself as a dining mecca, and we're seeing more and more family-owned restaurants first established elsewhere that have found a niche in Broward. If pizza is your thing, we have found what you're craving at Pepe's Pizza. But first, it's time for tapas and more at Santiago's Bodega. It's quirky, cool, fun, and delicious at Santiago's Bodega in Fort Lauderdale, the newest location for the brand that began 20 years ago in Key West when owner Jason Dugan from Kansas City decided to pack up and move to the southernmost city in the U.S.
I scraped up all of my money. The artist, Robert Henry Thompson, rode down with us. We just went down, Didn't have anything to lose, you know, and just made it happen.
The name was inspired by a famous Key West loving author.
Santiago was the character in 2 books that happened to be on my end table. One was The Old Man and the Sea, and I was like, instantly, it's like, Santiago, that works. And then the other one was the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and the boy is seeking to turn lead into gold, which was the way I kind of felt like I was doing in Key West.
His late friend Robert Henry Thompson created every single painting in both restaurants before he passed away a few years ago. Jason says this space off of 4th Street in Fort Lauderdale felt like the perfect newest home.
I liked the energy. I really looked all over Florida, and I was looking for something particular, something that, and I felt it here.
As for the food, it's tapas style, sharing plates for all. We start our tasting with a flaming saganaki with melted halloumi cheese with olive oil, oregano, and pita bread. Then it's yellowfin tuna ceviche with spicy citrus juice, avocado, mango, red onion, and cilantro. Every single part, all the textures and flavors and juices come together with very fresh tuna. I love this plate. Next, shrimp and chorizo skewers sauteed with white wine, lemon, garlic, butter sauce.
That's why I love tapas, is because it's all about sharing. It's about camaraderie with the people you're with.
So much fun. We end on the petite rack of lamb with crusted pecans, Dijon mustard, and thyme. Still crunchy on the outside with that crust that I've never tasted before, moist on the inside. It starts like a campfire here at the all-new Frank Pepe Pizzeria Napolitano in Plantation inside this coal-fired oven. On the walls, a family tree of pizza makers that go back 98 years to Frank himself, who started it all in New Haven, Connecticut. This newest location is the 15th restaurant for this family-owned spot that has a cult-like following.
He passed that down to his grandchildren, who currently control the company today, and the most important part of their legacy is the pizza.
For decades, the original Frank Pepe's Pizzeria has been called the #1 pizza destination in the country, and that's something they never take for granted.
We are only as good as our last pizza.
The secret, he says, starts with the water for the dough. It's been altered here to be exactly like the original New Haven restaurant.
We took a test of the New Haven water, and we tested it to the Florida water, where we changed the pH balance of the water.
Then it's all the other ingredients like the tomatoes and the pecorino cheese, both imported from Italy, as well as a complete replica of the original New Haven coal-fired oven. Ready to make the pizza pie? I joined pizza maker Ben to make Pepe's signature white clam pizza. It has 2 scoops of fresh white clams, oregano, garlic, pecorino cheese, and a little oil around the thin crust. Then to the oven, this oversized paddle called a peel goes. What comes out is magic. It's perfection in a pizza. Salty, the pecorino, the amazing dough, fresh clams, pizza heaven right here. Don't miss the clam pizza, trust me. And finally, meatball ricotta pizza with their homemade tomato sauce, melty cheese, and the perfect char. It has gusto. The meatball is still very tender, and then that ricotta cheese just gives it a hug. Giving it a hug. That brings us to our next stop, which is a love story of sorts. It's a story of a husband and wife team's newest culinary endeavor, a European-style gourmet market unlike anything else in its Miami Beach neighborhood known as Normandy Isles.
We have our wine collection.
Meet Sandy Sanchez and Ben Rablah, a power couple making waves in the South Florida restaurant scene. Sandy and Ben are a husband and wife team who are the creative forces behind 2 thriving restaurants that have previously been featured in our Taste of the Town, namely La Fresa Francesa and Silver Lake Bistro.
The chicken has been marinated in olive oil, rosemary, and garlic.
French-born chef Ben works his magic in the kitchen, while his Cuban-American wife Sandy ensures a flawless dining experience. Their love story began 11 years ago in California, and it's a partnership built on trust and respect.
I trust him and he trusts me with everything. We never second guess each other. And I'm gonna cry, but it's true. I know.
And always telling your wife, yes, ma'am. That's the key. That's the secret.
Always goes for all of my ideas.
Recently, this dynamic duo embarked on a new culinary venture called Normandy Gourmandy, a gourmet market inspired by European traditions. You'll also find charcuterie, over 21 varieties of cheese, fine oils, meats, poultry, pet items, chocolates, gifts, and much more. It's those special items you can't find in a big box store.
It is a gourmet market, but I insist always on telling people that gourmet doesn't necessarily mean expensive. It's just like well-chosen products.
The name came to them one night at home just down the street from their new venture.
Ben is like literally like drinking a glass of wine, reading his book, and he's like, Normandy, gourmandy, and I'm like, that's so ridiculous. And then I was like, ridiculous. I love ridiculous. Ridiculous is my thing, so that was it.
South Florida hasn't always been the foodie destination it is today, but there are some restaurants that have withstood the test of time, and for good reason. When we come back, we're going to check out 2 of them.
It was synonymous with the Art Deco district, and partially because it was really the only game in town. It's about preserving history.
We get a lot of locals all the time, and we also have a lot of tourists who come in and out, and they know, so they like those.
And they come back.
This CBS News Miami special, Taste of the Town, the best of 2023. We'll be back right after this. You are watching a CBS News Miami special, Taste of the Town, the best of 2023. Once again, here's Lisa Petrillo.
Welcome back. There are reasons why a restaurant stays in business for decades. 2 longtime local faves we visited in 2023 are proof of that. One just marked a milestone, serving up a traditional south of the border menu. The other, our next stop, is known worldwide for more than just its food.
It's the ultimate blast from the past here at the newly reopened iconic News Cafe, located on the ground floor of the Tony Hotel on Ocean Drive on Miami Beach. The restaurant was the brainchild of famed restaurateur Mark Soika, who opened it in 1988 as one of the only restaurants in Ocean Drive's Art Deco district.
It's about preserving history.
Scott Srebnick is the CEO of Gourmet Properties, who owns the Tony Hotel, and bought the News Cafe brand from him when it closed during COVID in 2021.
We wanted to be part of the solution of the next resurgence of Ocean Drive, and we wanted to do that by actually reclaiming its history.
Walking through the freshened up yet familiar space honors its storied past. After all, it was the first restaurant on Miami Beach to be open 24 hours.
It was synonymous with the Art Deco district.
It's truly a step back in time with photo memories.
I mean, I'm seeing history of Miami Beach right here. This was the 90s. Over there you have Don Johnson.
Gianni Versace on the wall,
Yeah.
right over here.
Yes, News Cafe was a favorite of the designer and is marked in history as the last place Versace visited before he was killed on the steps of his home just down the street.
He would come here, grab his newspaper, and then walk back to his mansion.
The restaurant is operated by Vita and Estelio Restaurant Group, manned by corporate chef Alex Martinez, who prepares our tasting dishes with an American meets worldly menu.
A lot of nostalgia, a lot of people are getting nostalgic when they come here. Oh my gosh, I haven't been here in 20 years.
Classic like Tony's tomato soup, served with a side of grilled cheese. Oh, it hits the spot.
It's just like a warm hug, even on a hot day.
As does the mouth-watering chicken parmigiana, where the melted cheese is served tableside.
I mean, You nailed it. It's crispy, which is why that cheese comes on later. Melty, and then super tender on the inside.
News Cafe, serving up history, headlines, and nostalgia 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sitting right at the entrance of Miami Beach's charming Española Way off Washington Avenue is a local spot known as O Mexico. Known to locals and to visitors alike since its earliest days as one of the island's first Mexican restaurants, the 154-seat eatery is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year.
It means a lot. We feel that we get a lot of locals all the time, and we also have a lot of tourists who come in and out, and they know, so they like those.
And they come back year
They
after
come
year.
back.
To celebrate the big 25th, O Mexico also received a complete makeover from top to bottom, inside and out.
And here we are now with even great new dishes and new additions to the menu.
Since its launch, the team has served between 60 and 80 orders of guacamole and classic margaritas daily for a total of close to 7 million each.
A su salud.
A su salud!
And that signature guacamole earns its high praise.
It's chunky. It has just this right amount of spice. The avocado speaks for itself.
Next, taco birria. It's slow-braised short ribs, melted Mexican cheese, onion and cilantro on a soft corn or flour tortilla.
This tastes authentic and really delicious. Spicy, but not too much. Perfect blend right there.
We try the crave-worthy street-style elote corn before moving on to the shareable molcajete bowl filled with chicken, shrimp, steak, veggies, and more in a tomatilla sauce. Dios mío!
Everything goes with it, the shrimp, the chicken, and the steak into one yummy Mexican bowl.
We end on another classic, sweet churros dipped in caramel, chocolate, or both.
You had me at caramel and chocolate sauce. Viva la Mexico and viva this dessert.
Delicioso.
Delicioso. It's no secret celebrity chefs love opening up restaurants here, and local foodies love it too. So much so, it can be tough to get a reservation. We're singling out 2 of them. One where the innovative restaurateur upped the game at an eatery with amazing views, and another that brings out the father in the chef.
It's like a photo book of food art with dish after dish here at Beauty and the Butcher in Coral Gables.
Yeah, it's just getting nice and crispy.
The artist behind them, rock and roll super chef Jeremy Ford, a Top Chef winner, a James Beard semi-finalist, and last year his renowned South Beach restaurant Stubborn Seed received a Michelin star. For Beauty and the Butcher, it began at home.
So my daughter is the beauty, I'm the butcher. I feel like I wouldn't be where I'm at without her in my life, so I wanted to give back something with her name on it. And this is kind of our little joint project together, right?
Near the top shelf bar is a nod to what's on the menu.
Here we're doing a lot of charcuterie in-house, fennel salumi, gabagool, andouille, duck prosciutto. So all that stuff, me and Chef Juan, the CDC here, take a lot of passion and pride into.
Ford himself lives just down the road and says he's happy to share his cuisine with those closer to home.
For me, it's all about community, right? We're very bold cooks, right? So we wanted to bring that into the neighborhood so you don't have to drive as far to go get those amazing flavors.
Back in the kitchen, he and his team get to work on a menu that celebrates local farmers and purveyors. His culinary approach is one of a kind.
We have a smoked beef rib that's cooked for 2 days.
And here it is, served with chimichurri and pickled slaw.
That's a labor of love right there.
The crunch of the lettuce, the slaw on the outside with that really, really tender and juicy meat. Really something special, Chef. Really something special.
And finally, a whole Florida suckling pig is in this one piece, served with spring vegetables.
It's crunchy on the outside like a chicharron almost, right?
Yes, you got it.
Tender meat, and then, the flavors and the sauce.
I feel like you really get me.
I get you.
What's old is new again at the all-new Noma Beach at Redfish inside Matheson Hammock Park in Coral Gables. It's now under the leadership of renowned chef Donatella Arpaia, who recreated what was formerly known as Redfish Grill with its breathtaking waterside views. Now it's an Italian-inspired coastal eatery.
So this is a historical Coral Gables building. It's just beautiful and romantic, and I really feel like it's a beloved part of the community.
Noma is an abbreviation of Donatella's twin toddler names, Noah and Emma. Chef Donatella, who's a fixture on many Food Network shows, came to Miami 5 years ago with her family and immediately called it home.
A restaurant is a reflection of my home. Typical Italian mom at the end of the day. I'm inviting you to my home.
Little ice wine.
This intricately crafted raviolo is made with homemade pasta, ricotta cheese, egg, and black truffle, and it's truly mind-blowing.
It's heaven.
Thank
I mean,
you.
that's as delicate and light. It's lovely.
It's lovely.
Onto the main lobster pappardelle with saffron butter sauce and fresh herbs.
So, tender, delicious.
Succulent.
Succulent. There's a kick.
There's a kick.
A comfort food, but a little more stepped
It's
up.
elevated.
Yeah.
Comfort, but elevated.
Exactly.
Donatella is most famous for her meatballs. In fact, the New York Food and Wine Festival dubbed her the Meatball Queen.
I've been called worse.
Oh,
I'll own it. And it's really my mother's and grandmother's recipe.
It's a very, very special meatball.
I like your Italian accent.
We end with chocolate cake with meringue and guava cheesecake, decadence and pure joy.
When we come back, a study in extremes, a taste of the town served up 2 ways, whether it's about giving back to the community with affordable food you'll want to eat again and again, or an indulgence you'll save for a special occasion. South Florida has it all.
That's next, when this CBS News Miami special, Taste of the Town, the best of 2023, continues. This is a CBS News Miami special, Taste of the Town, the best of 2023. Once again, here's Lisa Petrillo.
Welcome back. Our final 2 stops are going to make your mouth water for completely different reasons. We're going inside an Art Deco landmark, meticulously restored to a one-of-a-kind fine dining and nightlife destination. But first, a taste of barbecue heaven at a neighborhood staple that's been feeding loyal fans for more than 3 decades.
We do it here at Bowlegs Barbecue.
Tobias Doherty knows barbecue like the back of his hand. He and his brother Kevin, who's nicknamed Bowlegs, have been barbecuing around town for 3 decades with Bowlegs Barbecue. In recent years, Bowlegs himself had some health issues. In 2020, executive chef Marco Mall, who has deep roots as an artist in the hip-hop music, film, and culinary scenes, reintroduced Bowlegs Barbecue under his brand Hip Hop Eatery. Now they're partners here outside Skatebird Miami in El Portal.
He was down on his luck, and I basically knew his brand. I know him, solid guy, hard worker. amazing chef, amazing cook, and I just saw an opportunity to come in and help somebody that I think deserved to be at the next level.
Chopping up the ribs.
The kitchen is a 20-foot-long container where Tobias serves up flavorful meat smoked for half a day in a rotating smoker. People order to go or stay and eat.
So it's real important to me to be able to bring the culture, the influence, the seasoning to some communities that maybe don't have an opportunity and make it cost effective.
The menu includes an array of barbecue staples, including tender brisket cooked for 12 hours on low heat.
It's crazy, right? I mean, I eat barbecue all over the world, and I have to say our brisket is the best brisket I've ever had in my life.
I have to say, fall off the bone, melt in your mouth, super juicy.
The barbecue chicken that's been slowly rotating in Bowleg's custom-designed rotisserie is a staple.
It's rich and barbecue. Man, you could be in Texas right now or anywhere else. With
Anywhere.
Let's not forget the sides, including my favorite, the magical mac and cheese.
American and cheddar, mac and cheese, perfect consistency with the
good amount of butter, of course.
Yep, it's really good.
It's a throwback in time of luxury dining and pure glamour at Queen Miami Beach. The landmark building known as the Paris Theater on Washington Avenue was built in 1945, where now at the entrance, original frames hold posters of the first movie shown here. Owner Matthew Massa has our tour.
This was one of the first movie theaters in town.
In the 90s, celebrities discovered it.
A lot of celebrities like Madonna, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Ricky Martin.
I remember.
All those people came here to shoot in this property.
The long wave-like entrance leads guests to the Salon Lounge, where original crown moldings have been restored. The bar is a throwback to 1940s and 50s Europe. And what awaits in the main dining room is jaw-dropping. This is the money shot. Spectacular. The iris, or the centerpiece of the stage, is the main focus. Sound, light, and design come together in pure decadence with a nod to a time gone by.
We're bringing back history to 2023 by really protecting and respecting what used to be here and bringing it back to life.
The fine dining kitchen is in plain view where Chef Julian's extravagant modern Japanese cuisine menu unfolds. We begin with the avocado tart with truffle, lime, and jalapeno. An upscale add-on is caviar.
Oh, first of all, the crunch of the cracker, the smoothness of the avocado, and then the salt of the caviar. It's a perfect blend.
Amazing combination.
Plate after plate is an immersive experience of tastes and textures. There's this classic Japanese version of the Italian cacio e pepe pasta, this one made with creamy mushrooms, then an elegant miso glazed sea bass, and finally the perfectly cooked Kobe beef fillet with truffle sauce presented on a Japanese grill.
It melts like butter in your mouth.
It melts like butter in your mouth. You do not need teeth.
Yeah.
Because it's just so tender and delicious.
We end with the decadent frozen fruit platter where inside each fruit shell is creamy ice cream or gelato. Well, that dessert was really over the top. I could not eat another bite. Well, you can check out my Taste of the Town profiles right here on CBS News Miami and the CBS News Miami stream, or you can head over to our website, cbsmiami.com/tasteofthetown. Well, I hope you enjoyed Taste of the Town, the best of 2023. I'm already putting together my list for next year because I can't wait to give you a taste of the town again in 2024.